What's up, fool? So we just got done with the tipping point. Oh, sorry. Getting the remote to my TV. Man's got to have his rituals, and one of mine is the TV comes on after because I'll mute the shit though. So I start the show at my ex-wife's house because I take care of my kids, and then once she gets back, like at 7:45, then I come to my house. I live very close to her. um, that I finished the show here. The show ran long because we definitely wanted to give the predictions its proper time. There's no way we're going to contain it in 30 minutes. Plus, I kept thinking of ideas, and when you got guys like Tyson Dean and AC Mack, so sharp on their feet, but they're very different. And then you got me and Larry, and then I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to try, and those guys were so much fucking game. God, Tipping Point is so much fun to do. Hope you enjoy listening to it. And I thought the interview with the Kenway was a very good showcase for him. It wasn't necessarily one of my favorite interviews that we've ever did, if I'm being honest, but he was in gimmick. He kept it straight. He talked about the St. Louis scene as much as he felt like he was able to. The overall thing, I want you to go listen to the predictions. So it starts at about the 35-minute mark, and then it goes for like an hour or more. Us talking about predictions. What were the predictions? I asked them to predict something about the Georgia Wrestling History Awards. That would be a surprise, or at least an interesting thing. Actually, first we started off a positive prediction, a negative prediction, something about the Georgia Wrestling History Awards, and then I wanted them to finish the sentence. 2020 in Georgia wrestling will be the year of blank. I said it would be the year of scandal. I think there's going to be a couple things that happen to make the Jacob Ashworth thing look like nothing. That was my prediction, and then we did sort of a rapid fire thing where I threw different wrestling terms or whatever at them, and then they gave their like gut reaction. We talked about Danny Jordan. We talked about the NWA. We talked about which group was going to be on the come up. We talked about like all kinds of stuff. Man, I can't even remember all of it. And it just happened because it just went by like a blur. And of course, the fun part of all of us making predictions about each other. Boy, they got pointed. It was a lot of fun. We made fun of each other. We made fun of ourselves. But of course, we made fun of everybody else. That's what we do. And more than that, I just thought it was just a really great show. Definitely worth listening to. Again, the Kenway interview, really great. AWE. I'm excited about the thing he's going to do against Joe Black and Murder on February 16th on the AWE show. By the way, again, www.stephenplatinum, STEPHEN, platinum.com. Please think about supporting me in my extra life thing. My goal, $1,000, and to place number one in the arena that I do for 24 hours straight. This year, I feel like I'm ready. You got to understand, placing first in the world in this thing that literally millions of people engage in would be a really big deal to me. So I worked hard all year for it. This year, I literally worked all year to make sure I was ready for this day. My skills are sharp. I'm kind of old hat at figuring out how to keep myself awake, though I am turning 48 on Sunday. Just getting older, but look at this. My arms. I'll hopefully get this stomach slimmed down. A couple things going on in my life, and then I'll let you guys go. But the show, I would not steer you the wrong way. And this show is definitely worth listening to. And if you have predictions of your own, please feel free to put them below in the various categories, right? And if I'm forgetting any, please call them out. But what's a positive Georgia wrestling prediction that you have? What's a negative Georgia wrestling prediction that you have? What's one thing that you think is going to be interesting to say about the Georgia Wrestling History Awards, right? 2020 is the year of what? Do you have predictions for Tyson Dean, AC Mack, Larry Goodman, and myself? This year, unlike last year, they actually put me on the hot seat and threw predictions my way. Most of them having to do with I was going to show up at a Georgia wrestling show of some kind. Somebody else predicting that I was going to be in a Southern Honor ring for something. Me and or Jeff, as they put it. Interesting. Yeah. And then if you listen to the shows, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? What I wanted was an unfiltered, as I put it, I wanted you to fire from the id, not the super ego. If you don't know what that means, read a fucking book. Um, in other words, I just want you to shoot from the hip. When you NWA, what's the first thing that come to your mind? Say it. I thought the Danny Jordan one was great. It was a lot of things about improvement, ring work, blah 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 blah. And I just said sex bomb. Boom. I think Danny Jordan. I think this is going to be her year to take over the sex bomb role. You need one. When you have women wrestling. And I think, with Priscilla Kelly not being there anymore, we'll see. Maybe she'll be the sex bomb. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I know I talk about my charity thing a lot, but you got to understand it means a lot to me. It's when, fuck, I'll just be real, right? A few years ago, I made a very conscious decision that I was just going to become the man that I knew I wanted to be. And it started with that. I was just like, I always wanted to do charity work. I have this game that I love. Wouldn't it be funny if and then I stumbled upon Extra Life. I don't even remember how that happened. Oh, because I was working for a magazine, and so I was covering different events, and I covered this thing at the Orlando Science Center. They're having this big event, and Extra Life had a table, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, we just ask people to play video games, and then you do it for a local hospital, children's hospital, if you want, and you raise money." And they're like, "And you just play for 24 hours, but it can be over a year period." And I'm like, "Well, wouldn't it be cool if I just played 24 hours straight?" And I go, "What's a month where you don't get?" And they go like, "It's a thing where people start raising the money in earnest starting in like April or May, but the beginning of the year, usually people are raising no money." So I'm like, "Oh, I'll pick something close to the beginning of the year." And I thought, President's Day, that's cool. I'll just take President's Day off, and then so I'll work from Sunday to Monday. The tricky thing is now I work literally every day, and I've got so many side hustles and shit, but I carve out that time every year. And especially with, now, I've been divorced officially a year. And this is the first year where I really feel like I'm unfettered to do this thing right. And all the people who've sent me shit, and there's been, just even doing a rough tally in my head, there's been, oh my God, almost 24 different people who have sent me things. From friends of mine, people I went to high school with, people I know in the Georgia wrestling scene, people who I've never met who I kind of know, like Nick and Myron. Um, Tyler Rivera made me that fucking P-list shirt that's so awesome. Diana Michelle sent me shit. The fucking Hierarchy sent me shit. Like, it means the world. And from what I gather from different emails that I've gotten from people, like, just know when this thing that shows up, and they're usually kind of vague about what it is. When that shows up, that's me. Because I guess a lot of things, depending on if you're having somebody make something, it feels like a lot of people, the trend now is I'm still getting t-shirts, which clearly I love. It's a large is the best size for me, by the way, because it makes my arms look great. Um, um, and now people are getting stuff made for me. A couple of people are like, "Oh, we keep seeing the same stuff behind you, so I'm having this thing made that you can hang up and have behind you," and it's really great. Or people who are sending stuff for the kids, or in anticipation of different things that I want to do. I mean, like, look at this, like a deck of cards with me and Jeff G. That picture, and I got a shirt with the same thing. Um, I'll just be real. I didn't think the video thing would be like this. I didn't think it would be something that I looked forward to doing this much, where I felt compelled that I wanted to put out something every day. And I'm lucky. I got Larry that supports me, and he's smart enough to space them out so they don't come out in a jumbled mess like I would release them. And the people who donate money on Patreon, you don't know how crazy that was. When I got that first notice, I'll just be real. When I got that first notice that Myron was donating $5 or was contributing $5 to the Patreon, it started the ball rolling, and then more and more people did it. And once I broke the $200 per month barrier, like, you got to understand, like, Money's tight for me. I live in a decently nice place because I wanted my kids to not feel a loss. The divorce was already going to be hard enough on them, and I just wanted them to feel good about being here. And that meant I had to find a place close to the house and a place that was safe and clean and nice and where they could have their own room and their own space. And I bought them, like, one day I'll take video of their ridiculous bunk bed. Couple of things that people have brought up as suggestions, and I want you to know that I hear you and I understand you. Remember when I used to do that every fucking video? Um, the next step is, right now I use the webcam on my laptop. There's a lot of advantages to that. It's easy. I open it, I hit record, I go, and then I put it up. Sound quality isn't great because my microphone broke. So a couple people have said that they're going to send me microphones. Awesome. But the real next step needs to be, eventually I have to get a decent enough phone, which I'm doing very soon. Veronica, my youngest, is going to get this phone, and then I'm going to get the new phone, blah, blah. And somebody went out of their way, same person who got me the green jacket, bought me the means where I would have the thing that would hold the phone with a fucking boom kind of mic and a ring light so it would look better and look great, and I could take that footage and slap it down on the software that Dynamite Soul paid for the year for me, and I could fucking edit and put real videos together. At first it's going to be choppy and hard, folks. I'm slow to learn these things, but I think that's the next step, is I need to step up the production so it looks good, that it sounds good. Thank you so much for you people who listen to me. That part is strangely satisfying when people tell me that they just enjoy listening to me, whether it's to help them go to sleep. That, far from bothering me, I think it's amazing. To the people who critique me, or people who go like, fuck that guy, he's just a fan, like, you gotta understand, like, pretty thick-skinned at this point in the game. Not a perfect guy, and I hear people who talk shit about me all the time. But it's expected. So as some people have gotten older, they no longer want to have enemies, right? Like, I get older, I don't really need that. And part of me thinks, yeah, I don't need enemies. But part of me is like, fuck, dude, I love to fight. So if you want to help me with my fight, that's called a segue. On President's Day, well, starting at the Sunday before at 1, goes all the way to President's Day at 1. I play for 24 hours. This year I'm going to beat the bots. I'm going to beat those people that are using computer shit and all kinds of hacking bullshit that they're doing to cheat the game. I'm going to find a way to fucking beat them. I'm going to John Henry that bitch and beat the fucking Steam machine. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to rank number 1. I'm going to raise $1,000 in independent donations. I heard back from the fucking people at my work that said, yep, we're going to contribute to your shit. The person who gives me the most money, you're going to get that Bruiser Brody shirt. You're going to get that fucking deck of Jeff G. Stephen Platinum Bleedy playing cards. There's only 2 in the world, and you can have one of them. And then a bunch of other shit. I'll throw this out here too. The P-list cards that you see me flinging around, believe it or not, I always collect those and I keep them very nicely in one spot. Don't believe me? Hold on a sec. Look at these bitches. Uh-huh. So for you people, racist. For the people who have ever been mentioned on a P list or in a category, whatever, right? If you want the motherfucking P list that you're involved with, and you donate to my site, so basically go to stephenplatinum.com, click the link, or the link I always put there that you can directly go. It's like extra-life. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Click that, donate some money, put your name on it that you donated it, and say what P list you're on. First come, first serve. If you donate any amount of money, hopefully more than $1, please. Any amount of money and say, I want the P list that was about blankety blankety blank because I was on it. Phew, I pull those 10 cards out or whatever it was. I find your name. I fucking write something fun for you. Mail it to you. Cool? Cool. I was wondering what to do with that shit. That seems like a good idea as any. Got my birthday February 8th. You want to come to that bitch? Come at me. Get at me. Let me know what you want. Anyway, tonight's tipping point, a whole lot of fun. You can tell I'm fucking energized. That's how I know we did a good show, where I feel pumped up. I'm getting all these messages from fucking... See, I mean, this is what it's all about, right? Tyson Dean, thank you guys. Always a pleasure. AC, keep killing it. You're going to do big things this year. See, like, when people talk about unifying, this is what it's about. It's about, like, I don't have any contact with Tyson Dean, really, except through Tipping Point, but here we are. What's AC Max saying? That was a lot of fun, even better than last year's, I thought. I wanted to go another round. Ha ha ha. Good shit. What are some other shows, just to give you a little preview, and then I swear I'll let you go. We're definitely doing... I'm focused now on the State of Wrestling speeches. I'll get together with Larry and figure out when we're going to do them. I believe they happened in, say, late March or April. We'll try to do it around the same time. 2 minutes to speak. I'm going to hold people to their word. I believe Jonathan Feltner said after last year's, I want to do it next year. I'm going to hold you to it, Feltner. Last year we had 9 people speak, including a semi-drunken Drew Blood who called in, which was fucking amazing, right? Are you scared? Because that was the first unofficial P list that really kick-started this channel. There's 2 things that really got this channel going. The very first video was really about Priscilla Kelly, when everybody was coming down on her about the tampon spot at the bar show, and Jim Cornette and all these people were shitting all over her, and I wasn't having it because I like Priscilla Kelly, and 2, I put that shit. That's when I just decided I'm going to talk real, and bar shows don't fucking count. I've never heard anybody in wrestling say that, but it's the absolute fucking truth, and I put it out there, and I'm proud that I did. There's 3 things. That was the official start. But the ranking the P list led to an uptick in viewership or listenership of that Tipping Point episode, and a huge uptick in the amount of people that watched. And then I thought, I'm on to something. And it was just me talking shit like I would have fucking talked to my friends, just a little more organized for a viewing audience. We were off to the races. And then, of course, the fucking stranglehold goddamn video took your manhood. That shit's almost at fucking 700 views, which is quite a lot. And we are miles away from the time where people can fucking make fun of me and try to hurt me over nobody listens to you and you got 2 subscribers and blah, 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 blah. I watch a lot of YouTube, and my goal is simple. I'm going to get bigger. And I feel like these videos are already a good platform for Georgia wrestling. And I want it to keep going. So if you contribute to my Patreon, thank you, love you. If you want to continue to do that for me, thank you, thank you, thank you. Especially the 4 people who are right now giving 25 or more, which is going to help me get those trophies. That is on my list. I got to get it done. I know this. I already have the design. I want to say 3, but it's really 2 different trophy makers who are already going to pitch me what they can do and how much it'll cost. I should get 3 on that, though, so I can bounce them against each other. My goal is to not have these be plastic fucking trophies. I want trophies feel real, where it's an award that you can be proud to win. Let me look at my fucking mantle and pull this down, and then I'll let you go. And it's a place called Dad's Garage in Atlanta, and it's an improv theater. It's where we used to do the Brawl show. I spent quite a lot of time there. I directed shows there. I came up with shows there. I improvised there. I judged their theater sports events there and had friends there. And I'll just be honest, it hurts because ever since the divorce, I don't hear from anybody. I have a feeling that I'm kind of the heel in that, which is okay in the sense that uh, my ex-wife, people love her, and they should. I love her. I think she's a wonderful person. So out of the two of us, of course, people are going to tend to not have contact with me. In fact, the only people who contacted me were fucking wrestling people for the most part, or people that I wasn't even that close with who sort of reached out to me, which I really appreciated. But this award I won for fight choreography is fight choreography of the year, and technically I didn't win it. The person who perform the stuff that I had them do. It was Song of the Living Dead, which was a zombie musical, which I was the fight choreographer for, but then it ended up that I had to be in it. So I was the male zombie. So in every scene, I had to change into a different zombie outfit and be a different fucking zombie in each scene, usually getting killed. So I got to have blood rigs and all this kind of cool shit. But I went balls out nuts for the fight choreography for a live stage show. When I think about it now, it's insane. I did like some John Woo gun fucking karate gun kata shit and fucking all kinds of fight. Every night I would take a giant flipping hip toss bump on the fucking stage. What the fuck was I thinking about? But the person who won it, Z Gillespie, who I think a lot of, who, he and I have been doing something since that very first crazy season, like the fucking completely wackadoo season of Brawl. He said I should get this because I gave him all the confidence to do it. And I took the award gladly because I wanted one oh so badly. And that's the feeling that I want for people in Georgia wrestling, that I want them to have an award that they can feel really good about. This one's great, but I want this thing to be heavy. I want it to be an Oscar. I want people to go like, I got this shit. I want them to put it on their mantle or whatever and look at it with pride. It's going good. Georgia wrestling. Let's keep making it better.